The Director's Cup is heating up. We've battled through epic clashes of cinematic titans, witnessing iconic films go head-to-head in a fight for supremacy. Now, only 4 legendary directors remain, their most powerful cinematic weapons still at the ready. This is the semi-finals, where legends are made and dreams are shattered. Each director has one shot, one film to prove their mastery of the craft. Over 4 rounds of intense debate, we'll analyze the best scene, the most memorable line, the impact of the music, and the overall cinematic experience. Who will emerge victorious and secure their place in the Director's Cup finals? The tension is palpable, the stakes are high, and the battle for cinematic glory is about to begin. Welcome, cinephiles, to a clash of cinematic giants. In one corner, we have Ridley Scott's sci-fi horror masterpiece, Alien, a film that redefined the genre with its terrifying creature and claustrophobic atmosphere. And in the other corner, Steven Spielberg's Saving Private Ryan, a visceral and emotionally powerful war epic that redefined the way we experience historical battles on screen. Tonight, we'll delve deep into these 2 critically acclaimed films, dissecting their strengths and weaknesses across 4 engaging rounds. Round 1, it's the scene, the line, and the music with a personal touch. We'll explore the most memorable scenes, lines, and musical moments from each film, sharing our personal interpretations and nostalgic connections. Then we head to round 2, that's awards and critical acclaim. We'll examine the critical reception and accolades bestowed upon each film, weighing the opinions of experts and industry recognition, and redraft the movies we think should be nominated for Best Picture. Round 3, it's trivia and recasting. Prepare for a journey through fascinating trivia and behind-the-scenes revelations. Then, we'll put our casting directors' hats on and reimagine these films with a modern twist. Finally, it's round 4, the verdict. We'll ask our esteemed judge, Gemini, to weigh the evidence and declare a victor in this battle of genre-defining films. Get ready for a captivating and insightful showdown as we determine once and for all which film reigns supreme. Is it Ridley Scott's Alien or Steven Spielberg's Saving Private Ryan? Let the debate begin. Bern, you will be taking up for the movie Alien, directed by Ridley Scott. I will be standing up for Saving Private Ryan, directed by the one and only Steven Spielberg. But before we can get into round 1, Bern, do you know what we have to do?
The tale of the tape.
All right, let's get to these cinematic heavyweights in the ring for a head-to-head comparison. Here's the tale of the tape for Saving Private Ryan and Alien. All right, release date, July 24th, 1998 for Saving Private Ryan. For Alien, the release date, May 25th, 1979, almost 20 years apart. The runtime, Saving Private Ryan, 2 hours and 49 minutes. Alien, 1 hour and 57 minutes. The film budget for Saving Private Ryan, we're looking at $70 million. The film budget for Alien, $11 million. Opening weekend box office gross for Saving Private Ryan, we're looking at $30.5 million. For Alien, we're looking at $3.5 million. Worldwide box office gross for Alien, we're looking at $104.9 million. Worldwide box office gross for Saving Private Ryan, we're looking at $481.8 million worldwide box office gross. DVD and VHS sales, we're looking for $100 million for Alien and $150 million for Saving Private Ryan. Then finally, the studios that produced these 2 films. Saving Private Ryan was produced by DreamWorks Pictures with Paramount Pictures, and Alien was produced by 20th Century Fox. I believe that's the first 20th Century Fox that we've had. Bern, is that correct?
As far as I can remember, yeah, that's the first time we've shouted out 20th Century Fox.
Excellent stuff. Well, we're going to keep it moving, and we're going to head to round 1. Round 1, fight! Okay, so let's storm the beaches of Normandy in the depths of space for this cinematic clash. In round 1, we'll be going over the best scene, the best line, and the music from each film. Bern, you will start. You'll have 3 minutes to give us your best, and then we'll move on to your boy. Go ahead, Bern, whenever you're ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're talking about two incredible films here tonight. Films that, while one may take place on a beach and one may take place in the far reaches of space, have a lot in common. It's about isolation. It's about finding a way to move forward despite any odds. They're all great crews, all right? Tom Hanks is leading an awesome crew of dudes, guys you'd want to hang out with and have a beer with. But the same thing is happening on the Nostromo. We got a great crew. We got a bunch of people hanging out, living the dream. They're breaking balls. They're talking about money. They're in cryo sleep. It doesn't really matter. What we have here is two groups put together who are there for each other and are there for a singular purpose. That is about all these two movies have in common. Ridley Scott's 1979 sci-fi horror classic, Alien, redefined an entire genre. It was a monster movie where no one got to see the monster. It was a horror movie where the most horrible thing that happened was kind of how humanity works, how they want to mine for assets, how capitalism is going to eventually destroy us all. And I'm no commie here, guys, all right? Because I won't be a commie and be talking about how great Saving Private Ryan is. What I am trying to say is that Alien is a different kind of movie and changed the genre. Here's the scene. There's a guy. He's got a hugger on his face. Everyone's worried about him. He wakes up. He's hungry. John Hurt is having a great time. He has a little bit of cereal. He falls onto a table, and then a sharp-toothed worm explodes out of his chest and runs away on tiny little feet. No one has ever seen anything like that before. That was truly horrifying, and once you've watched it for like the 15th or 16th time, pretty hilarious. The score was done by Jerry Goldsmith and the National Philharmonic Orchestra. It was avant-garde. It was dissonant. Ridley Scott typically does not deal with the sound in his movies and didn't for this one either. He pretty much just told him, hey, go do your thing. Figure it out. Jerry Goldsmith appreciated the freedom, but it was kind of bummed. Like, I knew this was going to be a big deal, and I didn't get much direction. And the line from the movie, which is what we should all be thinking if the iconic xenomorph shows up on our planet, was delivered by the, spoiler alert, robot Ash, the chief science officer on the ship. He said, I can't lie to you about your chances, but you have my sympathy. Get out the way, guys. That's my time.
Alrighty. All right, Bern. Well, I loved hearing it, but now it's time for you to get some nuts on your chin. Are you ready? Okay. So here we go. I'll tell you this, Bern. So for me, we're going to go over best scene. And I'll tell you, I had never seen my dad cry in my life, ever. He took us to see Saving Private Ryan in theaters 4 times, right? We saw Braveheart in theater 5 times. I was 10. Saving Private Ryan, I was 13. A little bit of a difference, but, you know, not a ton.
Sounds like 9 good trips to the theater, quite frankly.
Yeah, great. Oh, dude, absolutely. But so we're going to see Saving Private Ryan, and it's the opening scene, which, I mean, this literally changed movies, this scene. The opening scene when they're storming the beach of Normandy, my God. And I've never seen my dad cry, but he got visually emotional. And I think there was some PTSD kind of stuff going on. But man, when the dude's screaming for his mom and there's bombs going everywhere, and like, you know, Tom Hanks is floating up, there's guys drowning all over the place. He gets up, he pulls one guy next to him, that guy's shot in the head, dead, right? Tom Hanks has his little freeze moment, then he gets back into it. You know, Saving Private Ryan, undeniably, with this harrowing and unforgettable Omaha beach landing, the sheer intensity, realism, and emotional weight of this scene, it's unmatched. You know, Alien's chestbuster scene is iconic, But Ryan's depiction of war's brutality, it was on another level. And this, honestly, 20 something years later, still holds up, right? Then the best line of the movie, I mean, I'd have to go with "Earn This," right? It really, honestly, too, when they open it up, when the guy's going to the graveyard where Ryan's going to the graveyard, and you see like who he's going to visit at the end, "Earn This." The last words of Captain Miller's speech in Saving Private Ryan resonates with its profound reflection and sacrifice of duty. Alien's "Game Over, Man" is memorable, but Ryan's dialogue carries greater emotional weight by far. Then the music. I mean, honestly, this is two heavyweights right here. You have Jerry Goldsmith from Alien going against John Williams. I mean, it's 1 and 2 as far as musical scores in movies, guys, but John Williams always takes the cake for me. Scoring Private Ryan is both epic and heartbreaking, perfectly capturing the film's emotional core. Jerry Goldsmith's score for Alien is effectively chilling for sure, but Ryan's music elevates the film to a higher emotional plane. Absolutely. I mean, it's just like it changed everything, Saving Private Ryan, when it came to movies. And I don't think anyone has really caught up to it in a war sense. The only thing close enough was Band of Brothers. You know who produced and directed that? Oh, Steven fucking
Same
Spielberg.
Dudes. All the same dudes. Yeah.
All the same guys.
All the same dudes.
Yeah. So that's why it's close enough. So I'll have to say, best scene, definitely the beach landing, even though there's some great ones, right? Like when they're all fighting and he tells him he's a teacher, incredible scene, right? When Nathan Fillion shows up and they pull up the wrong Ryan, another incredible scene. When he tells the story about Matt Damon tells a story about the guy, his brother hooking up with the ugly girl, incredible scene, right? Like so many memorable scenes. One of the great ones too is when the guy reads the letter from Abraham Lincoln, right? Like just full of powerful scenes. Not all of them have to be brutal. Some of them have some, like, Steven Spielberg, obviously he always tries to touch a little comedy, but Earn This, all-time line, and then the music, just incredible. So that's my time, and that's, again, my nuts on Bern's chin. Thank you. Well, that does it for round one. We're going to head on to round two. Round two. Fight! Okay, so here we go. Awards and critical acclaim. This is how this round's going to work. So as far as awards go, Saving Private Ryan won 5 Academy Awards, including Best Director for Steven Spielberg. It was lauded for its realism, powerful performance, and technical achievements. Alien, though, did win 1 Academy Award for Best Visual Effects. While critically acclaimed and influential, it didn't receive the same level of award recognition, but I still think it was a highly regarded film, Alien, especially, too, for the time period it came out in. We're looking at almost 20 years apart, and Alien really stood out. So I think the award success will have to go, but what I want to do now is Bern and I are going to redraft the Best Picture nominees from that year. So 1998 is when Saving Private Ryan came out. So then it was part of the 71st Academy Awards, right? So for the original nominees for the 71st Academy Awards, so the Best Picture nominees were Thin Red Line, Saving Private Ryan, Life is Beautiful, Elizabeth, and then the winner somehow was Shakespeare in Love. I don't know who, Marissa Tomei had to blow to make that happen, but she did it again, even though she's not in it, but that's just how you do it. Yep. So like I said, the Best Picture nominees from the 71st Academy Awards, which were reflected on the films that came out in 1998, which was when Saving Private Ryan came out, was Thin Red Line, Saving Private Ryan, Life is Beautiful, Elizabeth, and the winner was Shakespeare in Love. So the rule we have for this is that now you can nominate, there's 10 pictures that are nominated for Best Picture. So you can have, minimum of 5, maximum of 10 pictures. So for 1998, the films I picked to be nominated for Best Picture we have American History X, definitely. Then we have There's Something About Mary, incredible movie, right?
Wow.
Yeah, great movie. Then we have Blade, the original Blade. Shout out Stephen Dwarf.
You mean the first Marvel movie? The
Yeah,
official first Marvel movie?
dude, Wesley Snipes killed it. Dude, the first Blade was so good. Then I have here's something that changed the genre of comedy. Also, Rush Hour, right? They loved Rush Hour so good they made 3 more of them. Then I'm gonna throw in Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. I'm gonna
Oi.
put, yep, and I'm gonna put Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Wow.
Yep. Then I'm gonna put Rounders, great movie. Then I'm gonna put He Got Game, little Spike Lee joint. Love that movie. I love too the song in the beginning. It was that Dinty Moore Beef Stew
Yep,
song,
it's
which
perfect.
was great. And then also like the He Got Game song, really good song. And then I'm gonna put The Man in the Iron Mask. Dude, you got
Ooh.
yeah, you got Gabriel Byrne, you got John
Mm-hmm.
Malkovich, you got Leo DiCaprio. Like, great movie. Sleeper, great movie. It's about the Three Musketeers post their prime. Awesome movie, right?
Do
Really,
we have two Leos in that movie?
yeah. Leo played
We
2 roles.
we got
Yeah,
two
he played
Leos in
twin
that
brothers.
movie.
Yeah, he nailed
Incredible.
it. He was so
Incredible.
good. Great movie. And then to round out my Best Picture nominees, I'm going with Basketball. Ever heard of it?
Wow.
Just the best movie of 1998.
Wow. All right. Wait,
Uh,
so read them down and tell me what you think should have won.
okay. Can I name my honorable mentions though first?
You can do Maddie, it's your show,
Okay.
baby.
Honorable mentions before I read them down again. Honorable mentions. I had Mask of Zorro was an honorable mention. SLC Punk. Remember that movie?
Mm-hmm.
Matthew Illard,
Matthew
so good.
Lillard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lillard, whatever. And then Can't Hardly Wait, just because I love that movie. That was such a great, like, that was one of the ones that restarted the teen movie craze, right? Because that was big in the late 90s. So Mask of Zorro, SLC Punk, Can't Hardly Wait, and The Waterboy are my 4, honorable mentions. They're good, but they're
Wow.
not. Yeah, this is fun. 98's a year, babe.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're my
Waterboy didn't
honorable.
make your list.
It's
I
honorable
mean,
mention,
that's
Daddy.
a good year.
Honorable.
What a year.
The Wedding Singer came out too. I didn't even put it up there. There's a couple I'm like,
Jesus.
God, I can't believe
What?
I'm not saying this.
God
But
damn, Sandler. What a
yeah,
monster.
yeah, I know. So okay, so my nominations again. I have American History X, Blade, There's Something About Mary, Rush Hour, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, He Got Game, Rounders, The Man in the Iron Mask, and Basketball. And my winner would be American History X, and Edward Norton would win for Best Actor because he just murdered, literally and figuratively, in that movie. Rounders and American History X in the same year, and then he had Fight Club. Edward Norton had a good little
Yeah.
gimmick there, Daddy, because Fight
Very
Club I
different.
think came out in '99. So okay, so that was my list. Yep, I think American History. I mean, barring Saving Private Ryan, like obviously I didn't put that one on the list because it was originally nominated and everything. But American History X, I think, really, honestly, American History X was so good. And the dad from Boy Meets World was in it, and it was just awesome. So, Bern, go ahead, take it away with your nominations and lists.
All right, so here's what we have. I'm dealing with Alien, which came out in 1979. We're talking about the 52nd Annual Academy Awards.
Damn.
The films nominated for Best Picture were Kramer versus Kramer,
Okay,
All That Jazz,
got it.
Apocalypse Now,
Okay,
Breaking Away, and Norma Ray. The winner for Best Picture was Kramer versus Kramer, which is one of the. I actually have seen 3 out of 5 of these. We really like kind of the first divorce movie ever, and they got Dustin Hoffman and Meryl Streep to really hash it out. It's a pretty excellent movie with great performances. That year, Alien was nominated for 2 Academy Awards, winning one. It was nominated for Best Art Direction. It won for Best Visual Effects. So, following Maddie's lead here, I'm going to go ahead and rank what I think the 10 best movies of 1979 were. The movies that, if I was in charge, I would say these should be nominated for an Academy Award.
okay.
All right. Number 1, The Jerk, starring Steve Martin. One of the funniest movies ever made in the entire world. The entire culmination of Steve Martin's stand-up career in one film, The Jerk. Rocky 2, Monty Python's The Life of Brian, The Amityville Horror, The Warriors. I will throw Kramer versus Kramer in there in that top 10.
Okay.
It is an excellent movie. It's not my number one. It falls at my 6, but it does get in there. Mad Max, Breaking Away, James Bond's Moonraker,
Ooh.
and of course, everyone's favorite classic starring Gene Wilder and Harrison Ford, The Frisco Kid.
Oh,
Number
classic.
10. So underrated, criminally underrated. Honestly, excluding Alien, I think, while I love The Jerk, there's no way comedies like that are winning Academy Awards in 1979. I got to go with Rocky 2, and I'm feeling pretty strong about it. One of the greatest sequels ever recorded.
Agreed.
In modern American film history. Some would argue better than the first one. It's a different kind of movie than the first one. And it propels, Rocky 3 is different. Rocky 4 is different. Rocky 5 is different. The Creed movies are different. They're all different. But Rocky 2 may be the most complete, most emotional, and most action-packed Rocky movie that exists to this day. So if I had to do it all over again, I think Rocky 2 wins my Best Picture. Yeah, so that is my list of the 52nd Annual Academy Awards, the 1979 Oscars. I'm going Rocky 2, numero uno.
Yeah, as you should. So, okay, well, Bern, that does it for round 2. Let's move on to round 3. Round 3, fight! Okay, Bern, we're here. It's round 3. So in this round, like everyone knows, we're going to do a back-to-back sparring session with some trivia. And then after that, we're going to recast each other's movies. So to start off this little trivia sparring session, your boy, old Uncle Matty, is going to hit you with the first one. So did you know this about the movie Saving Private Ryan? The studio interference actually improved the script. That's right. Saving Private Ryan was written by Robert Rodat. He was Oscar nominated for the film, and when you look at his other bodies of work over the years, Saving Private Ryan does stand out as the jewel in his screenwriting crown. So Rodat's screenplay went through 11 drafts of revisions requested by the studio, and it was the studio that came up with a lot of the human drama that sites at the core of Saving Private Ryan. This includes Miller's backstory of being a school teacher who wanted to get home with his wife. Also, Steamboat Willie, the German character who portrays the group doesn't exist at first. And then the characters of Mellish, Caparzo came later on too. So the studio revisions, not always a bad thing necessarily. And that's my first fun fact. What do you got, bucko?
I got a pretty vanilla one to start off with, but the part of Dallas, played by Tom Skerritt, was originally offered to Harrison Ford. He was just too close to Star Wars and was like, I don't want to be on a spaceship for a little while. I kind of just got big in this town. I don't just want to be the spaceship guy. Although after rewatching Alien very recently, he would have been great. And it probably wouldn't have fucked up his career. But, I mean, Tom Skerritt was awesome. But, yeah, originally offered to Harrison Ford.
Well, Bern, speaking of Harrison Ford, did you know this about Saving Private Ryan? Tom Hanks wasn't the first person up for the lead. That's right. The character in the film we spend most of the time with is Captain John Miller, the head of the band of brothers sent to find Ryan and played by Tom Hanks. Hanks was one of the biggest movie stars in the world at the time, but there were 2 other big names considered for the part before him. Mel Gibson was a possibility, and he did go on to appear in a war movie shortly after this, We Were Soldiers, as well as he directed a World War II movie called Hacksaw Ridge. And then also, Spielberg considered Harrison Ford. That's right. Spielberg knew Harrison Ford very well from the Indiana Jones trilogy, but decided to approach Tom Hanks instead. And I'm glad he did, because Hanks he crushed. He absolutely crushed.
Here's a fun fact about Alien. Ridley Scott really wanted the cast to feel the claustrophobia of being stuck on the Nostromo with something they could not see or could not deal with. He gaslit them. Ridley Scott had the set shrunk by a few inches every single day. So crew showed up early to make the rooms the actors had been working in about 3/4 of an inch smaller every single day while they were shooting the Nostromo, which I think was an 18-day shoot. So every day he made the rooms a little smaller and didn't tell the actors just to get
But
them riled up and being like, you weren't this close to me when we rehearsed this. You weren't this close to
yeah,
me yesterday.
yeah.
Uh, Kind of manipulative, but a really sweet move by the director.
Did you know this about the movie Saving Private Ryan? The letter we hear is real. And by that, I mean, one of the most memorable scenes in the film comes in the first act, where General Marshall reads a letter penned by Abraham Lincoln. The letter was sent out to a woman called Lydia Bisbee in 1864 at the height of the American Civil War, who, after she lost 5 sons in battle. Some doubt has been cast on the letter now, though apparently, as historians now say, that evidence suggests that only 2 of Lydia Bixby's sons died and at least 2 other sons deserted. So there you go. Good babe.
Speaking of the claustrophobic effects of the movie Alien, they built the Nostromo to scale, which means all those drippy, dark, foggy hallways you've seen in the film were actually built as part of one mass structure. Directors shoot a movie, they cast a movie, they deal with the editing, they deal with the lighting, they deal with the sound. There is speculation that 80% of this movie was shot with a camera on Ridley Scott's own shoulder because the passageways were so narrow, they couldn't actually light it like a set. So not only did he shoot this movie, he actually shot this movie. He didn't sit in a chair while somebody else said, camera 1, go, camera 2, go. He was walking around with these people. The speculation Sigourney Weaver gave was at least 65%. Tom Skerritt said 80. So somewhere in between there
Wow.
lies the truth. But Ridley Scott was actually looking through a lens for most of this movie, which is
Dude,
unheard of
yeah.
today.
Well, Bern, here's another crazy fun fact about the movie Saving Private Ryan. The cast were put through their paces. As part of training for the movie, Spielberg had the cast take part in a 10-day boot camp regimen to learn what it would be like to be part of a military unit. Tom Hanks had done something similar when he worked on Forrest Gump and trained with the Vietnam War sequence, so he knew how hard it would be. But the other cast members had no idea. After a few days, there was a vote amongst the actors to leave the boot camp, but Hanks overruled all of them. Spielberg then made every cast member attend the camp except Matt Damon. He did that because he wanted to create some resentment between the others and Damon that he was being let off easy, which is a beat from the film. The former military officer who ran the training camp was called Dale Dye. He has a cameo in the film too. He plays one of the General Marshal's aides in the scene with the Bixby letter. But yeah, there you go.
What a slobber knocker of a matchup right here. But I got one for you that might change the game a little bit.
Let me hear it.
Sigourney Weaver, fledgling actress,
Mm-hmm.
just trying to get parts. She shows up at
Sure.
the wrong hotel. She shows up at the
It
wrong
happens.
hotel for her audition. Her
Right.
agent calls Ridley Scott and says, she's going to be 30 minutes late. Can you please just wait for her? Ridley Scott's like, I'm kind
Whoa.
of done for the day, but I'll see what we can do. Sigourney Weaver gets there. She shows up. She knocks on the door. Ridley Scott opens the door. In behind Ridley Scott are 12 female secretaries from 20th Century Fox. Sigourney Weaver auditioned in front of the director of the movie and 12 women who have never had anything to do with making a movie. After she left, half of the women loved her, half of the women hated her, and Ridley Scott said, I've found my Ridley. He just drafted women from The Office to come in and be like, she's got to be a really important character. she's got to be authentic. And I don't know if I understand what that means. So
Yeah.
he just grabbed 12 secretaries out of the office. So that's who Sigourney Weaver auditioned in front of, Ridley Scott and 12 secretaries.
Another awesome director thing from Scott.
What an
Like,
insane move to do, to be like, is she authentic? Half the women were like, I love her. I think she's a badass. The other half of the women were like, I think she's sneaky and I don't like her. And Scott was like, yep, that's what I'm going for.
dude,
She's the linchpin of my movie. You have to feel extreme about her in some kind of way.
the word you're looking for is polarizing. He needed a polarizing figure.
Correct.
And how do you figure that? Like, think of the problem solving genius there, right?
Yep.
He's going into this thinking, I need to figure out if this woman is a polarizing figure. Who the fuck can figure that out? That's like saying, oh, they got the it factor, right? It's a fucking crapshoot. You have no clue. What does he do? He gets 12 women, and if half hate and half love, polarizing figure.
He's like, that's my Ridley. That's my Ridley.
Fucking dude, Ridley Scott is just, he impresses me more and more. The more I know, I'm fucking pulling for Stevie, but wow. I mean, he never fails to impress, Ridley Scott. Not surprising he's made it to the semifinals of the first ever Directors Cup. Not surprising.
Even slightly. Not even slightly.
All right, Bern. Well, now it's time for me to put my nuts more thoroughly, I guess you'd say, on your chin, is I'm going to recast the movie Alien. So I'll be recasting 5 people. I'll be recasting Sigourney Weaver, who plays Ripley. I'll be recasting Thomas Skerritt, who plays Dallas. I'll be recasting John Hurt, who plays Kane. I'll be recasting Veronica Cartwright, who plays Lambert, and I'll be recasting Ian Holm, who plays Ash. So to start off, I will be starting off by my recasting of Ian Holm. So to recast Ian Holm, who plays the character Ash, I'm going with someone I'm not a fan of what is considered their best work, but I kind of stole something here. I'm going with Rami Malek. Do you get why I went with Rami Malek?
Mr. Robot?
Oh, you see the connection there, do you?
Mr. Robot. Rami Malek is very robotic.
Right. It's the monotone of the voice. It's the cadence of the voice, the appearance of deadpan on the face. I mean, I absolutely, Bern, I can't tell you the Woody Allen levels of hate I have for Bohemian Rhapsody.
What I was going to say was also because he won a Best Actor Academy Award for one of your favorite films, Bohemian Rhapsody.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. You know what, Bern? I once thought, should we ever put Woody Allen in a Director's Cup? And immediately I said no, because he's a fucking douchebag. All right? I can't stand his whiny bitch ass. Rami Malek, dude, Bohemian Rhapsody sucked. I used to add
it sucks so bad.
I mean, people, for our fucking day one retorts, you'll know, in the early days, I used to ask everyone the same question when we first started the show: is why do you hate the movie Bohemian Rhapsody? Because it sucks, right?
No, do you like the movie Bohemian Rhapsody? And if so, why do you hate it?
I would say, have you ever seen the movie Bohemian Rhapsody? And if so, why do you hate it? Or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. So there you go. That's Rami Malek as Ian Holm for Ash.
It's a good call. It's a good call.
I know, dude. I crush in recasting thus far, and I think you're gonna love this recasting. Are you ready?
Ready.
So Veronica Cartwright plays Lambert. I'm gonna be recasting her with Sarah Sherman.
Wow, that's fun. Actually,
didn't see that coming.
She's my favorite SNL cast member by far.
Right. Honorable mention Maisie Williams, but Sarah Sherman, I just think the whining, you need the whining. And I think Sarah Sherman can have a good whine. And also, you Lambert's annoying, but you're also like, yeah, Lambert, you're speaking sense. Like, we get it.
Listen, Lambert makes sense the whole time. If she could tell 2 or 3 jokes instead of just being super whiny, I'd like her so much more, and her fate would be the same. You know, it wouldn't change anything.
Yeah. No. Okay, to keep it moving then. So John Hurt has the incredible scene of the alien coming through the stomach, which he redid in Spaceballs, which is why I love John Hurt, amongst other things. He was a doctor also. Shout out Doctor Who. But to recast John Hurt, who plays the character Kane, I'm going with someone I know. And Bern, I think you might know him too. His name's Noel Fielding. You ever heard of him?
I have heard of him.
Yep.
Oh, you're
Yep.
making a spicy little alien
Yeah. Oh yeah.
remake
We're having
here.
fun. We're having fun here,
You
Daddy.
you
We're
are
having fun.
having fun.
We're having fun.
You know
And
what?
so
I think he'd be great because like every impression you get of John Hurt's character, like you don't get to see a ton of him before he puts on the spacesuit and goes gets
no,
face hugged. But like that guy's a party. That guy's fun to
he's the
hang out
best.
with. You would have a
So
great
great.
time with him. He's a great guy to sit next to at a bar.
Totally.
He's a
Yeah.
fine guy to be next to on a bus. Like he's just a good
Absolutely.
dude.
Good dude. Good dude. Okay. So sorry. I keep saying so let's keep moving. Next up I have Thomas Skerritt as Dallas. Love Thomas Skerritt. Love seeing him in everything I see him in. He's got one of the all-time. He is all-time with the stash. I mean, maybe Tom Selleck maybe has a better stash than Thomas Skerritt, but he is all-time stash man. Am I right or am I right?
It's a Tom thing, but those two guys, yeah. Tom Skerritt's stash has
Selleck's
been
stash
around.
too. Selleck's birthday. I don't want to say it. Either way,
Do you share?
Thomas.
Never mind.
Yeah, Thomas Skerritt as Dallas. So can I tell you who I originally thought to put in was Rob McElhenney because Rob McElhenney's got the look, he's got the cadence, he's got the aesthetic, but I needed someone just a little sharper, a little sharper. So
Mm-hmm.
to recast Thomas Skerritt's character Dallas, I'm going with Luke Evans.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Really great. Yeah.
Maddie, I think that I'm smoking you on recasting as far as like appropriate recasting, but I think you're making better movies than I am. And I'm gonna
I've
need to reconsider
recasted
things.
every movie better than you. What are you talking about?
No, I've recasted every movie better than you,
You
but I think in
you
the
couldn't
last few weeks,
recast your dick out of a hole in this fucking game. Are you kidding me,
I
Daddy?
I think in the last few weeks you're reaching and you're making you're making more interesting films than I am, and
I
I'm gonna
had
have to
Haley Joel
reconsider.
Osment make a return as
Yeah,
fucking Bert the motel guy last week.
I
What are we
included that.
doing?
I said the last 2 weeks. I included that in that. I was impressed by your Charlie Day, Haley Joe Osmond move. I'm just saying I was absolutely smoking you early on, and you're throwing some new things at me, and I'm
My Rushmore was so goddamn good. You didn't, I mean, the only thing you were smoking was pole, Daddy. All right. Either way, to
which one of the
round out,
Stranger Things kids will it be? All right,
you
go ahead.
fucking cunt.
Go
Oh,
on.
try recasting a 12-year-old. Tell me how it fucking goes. Okay.
I'm recasting fucking Oscar winners every goddamn week, Maddie. All right.
Oh,
You
oh,
want to cry to
sorry.
me?
Oh,
You want
Thomas
to cry
Skerritt's
to
a
me?
fucking nobody now?
You want to
Fucking
cry to
Thomas
me?
Skerritt's a fucking nobody?
He's not Thomas Hanks. He's not Thomas goddamn Hanks.
You tell that to
Tell you
fucking
that
Thomas.
much.
You tell that to Thomas Skerritt. He's
Love
not
me
Tom
some Tom
Hanks.
Skerritt. He's not Tom Hanks.
It's also 1979. When fucking Hanks was fucking on TV
He was
dressing
bosom
up as a
buddies.
woman in
He was
79.
dressing up like a lady, living in an apartment in Chicago.
Yeah.
All right.
Fuck yeah, that's what Hanks was doing. Skerritt was fucking dropping nuts on the big screen, Daddy.
Well, Hanks didn't have the mustache yet. That's all. He had to shape it because he was living in a lady's apartment. Anyway, go on.
Anyway, to round out my another incredible recasting, Sigourney Weaver plays Ripley. She's definitely the one that did the best out of this cast for the career wise. But to recast Sigourney Weaver as Ripley, I'm going with just all. I mean, it's knockers for knockers. I'm going with Alexandra Daddario. Knockers for knockers, Daddy. Knockers for knockers.
Oh, that's so good too. She's understated. She's got weird eyes.
Yeah.
She makes sense
And
in
knockers.
space.
Knockers.
Listen,
put them both in a tank top. Tell me what happens, Daddy. Tell me if you can stand up and look straight. You can't. You can't.
I'm not going to the board to do a math problem. That's for goddamn sure.
That's for goddamn sure, Daddy. All right. So let's keep it moving. Keep it on moving down the road.
All right. So recap, Maddie.
No. So my recap. So I'm recasting Alien. So to recast the character Ash, played by Ian Holm, I'm going with Remy Malek. To recast the character Lambert, played by Veronica Cartwright, I'm going with Sarah Sherman. To recast the character Kane, played by John Hurt, I'm going with Noel Fielding. To recast the character Dallas, played by Thomas Skerritt, incredible mustache, I'm going with Luke Evans. And to recast the character Ripley, played by Sigourney Weaver, I'm going Knockers for Knockers, and I'm going Alexandra Daddario. Knockers for Knockers. You're welcome.
We have a bit of an issue here because I recast like 13 characters because it's very difficult. It's very difficult to do Saving Private Ryan without all the tiny little pieces. And I know I'm representing Ridley Scott here, but Spielberg is so good that all of these small characters are so fleshed out. You feel like you know who all of these people are. Yeah. There's almost no small characters, but I've decided for my finale, my 5, right? I will be recasting Captain Miller, Tom Hanks's character. I will be recasting Sergeant Horvath, Tom Sizemore's character. It would be weird not to recast Private Ryan for Saving Private Ryan, so I would be recasting Matt Damon's character. Private Jackson, who is Barry Pepper's character.
Oh, I forgot about. He's incredible in this movie. Steals the show.
And Steamboat Willie.
Who originally played Steamboat Willie?
The German who ruins all of our lives. Well, let's start right there, Matt. I will be recasting Steamboat Willie, the German, who Upham lets go early in the movie, who ends up coming back to kill both Private Mellish and Captain Miller. The original actor's name is George Stadler. He has no other acting credits. So I will be recasting a random German to play this guy. A random German. Yeah. Not doing it. It's got to just be some random guy. It can't be Sebastian Stan. It can't be Christoph Waltz. It can't be someone who is recognizable in any way because this character only exists in.
You couldn't put Fula Borg in there?
Nope. It can't be anyone that you would potentially recognize because he gets to go.
I mean, do you want to be typecasted as a Nazi? That's fucking pretty tough.
I don't know, man. It's 20.
So America. We can pick 20. We can pick 20 of the extras from Inglourious Bastards. Okay.
Whatever.
Sounds good.
Yeah. It's got to be a random German, right?
I would rather you recasted Caparzo, but okay.
Would you like to hear my well listen, I understand Caparzo in my cast. Would you like to hear my Caparzo recast?
I mean, we're gonna have to because that's a fucking throwaway. If you really want to compete recast for recast, Bern, you just fucking gave it away.
No, Maddie, it can't be. It's got to be a random blend-in guy. That's a top 5 most important guy in this movie. The random blend-in guy. Believe me, I have them all, but I had to include that in my recasting. Random, dirty German.
Okay, go ahead. Keep it
all right. I feel like I need to win the audience back here, so I'm going to recast Tom Sizemore's character of Sergeant Horvath. And that actor is going to be Oscar Isaac. Oscar Isaac is going to play Sergeant Horvath.
I'll tell you, it really depends who your Captain Miller is, if I'm going to like this or not. They're really going to have to play well off of each other because the chemistry between Hanks and Sizemore was off the fucking charts.
Yep. It's got to be off the charts.
Yeah. But I'm interested to see Oscar Isaac. Like, dude, you know, the Sizemore's character was the enforcer. Like, you know, Hanks was soft-spoken. What you said got done, but if you didn't do it as he said it, Sizemore's going to put a boot in your ass. That's military, babe. You know?
There's no fucking around on that.
Does Oscar Isaac have it to put boots in asses?
I think Oscar Isaac can put a boot in an ass.
I'd love to see it. All right. Keep going, Daddy.
Vin Diesel.
Okay.
as you mentioned earlier, slayed
Mhm.
Private Caparzo.
Okay.
Now, Private Caparzo is a tragic character.
Tragic.
He's got to be great. He's got to love that girl up there.
Yeah.
He's got to get shot. It's got
Reminds
to
him of the
hurt,
niece. Yeah.
and you got to believe it. Anthony Mackie is my Caparzo.
I mean,
I
not
think.
really historically accurate because they didn't have interracial squadrons in the World War II.
Well, we're changing the game here a little bit.
Okay.
We're
Okay.
recasting this for a World War II movie that makes sense. Like we all bought Michael Pena in Fury, right? Because he was
True.
good.
He was
So
good.
yeah, no, we've decided that we're going to
But
go
he was
with
Native American in Fury. He wasn't Spanish.
let's let
I'm
let's
shit. I'm
pretend.
sorry. I keep stepping on your toes here. I'm
Hey,
just trying to help.
let's pretend the white guys gave a shit about the difference. You know what I mean? I
Okay.
don't think they did. I'm going Anthony Mackie for
All
Caparzo.
right.
I think he's
He
got
does
the
get killed
empathy.
in the second act, which is strong, right? Like, but you got it's someone you're saying like you got it because he was dude. Caparzo was one of the boys, right?
He's
Like
one of the boys, man.
one of the boys, like total
He's out
locker room
there
guy, vibes
chopping
guy.
it up, locker
Yeah,
room
him and
guy. But
Mellish had all their secret shit, and yeah. So Mackey's one of the boys, and you're like, dude, you can count on this guy because he's the thumper. And there's more
he'll get
Italian
it done.
Americans served in World War II than any other culture or any other American ethnicity.
But he's only there for one reason. That's because he's part of the squad, and he's going to give
Yeah,
his all to the squad. And he's also going to make a stupid move because that girl reminds him of his niece.
fucking stupid, so
And
dumb.
when he's laying there in the rain, bleeding out,
With his letter to his dad.
Mackey's got that scene. Anthony
Yeah,
Mackie has got that scene,
you better hope he
100%.
does. You better hope. I mean, I'll tell you too. The line after it, when Hanks just goes, "That's why we don't take children." Whew,
Brutal,
brutal.
absolutely brutal,
Yeah, and dude,
absolutely
the
brutal.
scene when they shoot the sniper, Pepper's bullet through the eye. Oh, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Think about that too. Think about minimal work, maximum impact, right? Like what's more visually effective? Going through the scope into the guy's eye or blowing the back of his head off? I say going through the scope into the eye. So all it
100%.
took was it's the glass breaks in the scope and then makeup, right? On the eye. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like, and they could just put a patch over there and the guy falls back. Where if it was, say if it's Michael Bay or whoever, or they want the back of the head blown off,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So it's
No, listen,
so I feel like
the
visually it's more striking through the eye and it's like sharper too. I like that.
and the whole point of Private Ryan is like the atrocities of war, not like, oh, this guy got his head blown off. Like, no, he
Yeah,
died.
yeah.
He
Blood and
killed a
guts.
bunch of guys,
Keep
and
it moving.
then he got.
He
And
shot
then
it. He shot at Guinea trying to save a kid. Then he got. Yeah,
we go to the next town.
yeah. Go ahead.
All right, this might be weird. Corporal Upham,
Oof,
Jeremy Davis,
oof.
Corporal Upham,
This fucking guy.
Upham. It's
Upham.
hard to tell this story. You can't tell the story without Upham. I'm not happy
Yeah.
about Upham. I'm not
Yeah.
happy. I'm
If you're
recasting
representing
Upham.
to like the different parts of the male psyche, don't act like there isn't a million guys out there that wouldn't be afraid,
There's
right?
so
Like
many Uphams.
there's so many people get paralyzed by fear. You could be Johnny Hardnuts with all the talk, but fear can paralyze you in a million different scenarios. But if you're looking at if you categorize each member of the team as a different piece of the male psyche or whatever, you know what I mean? Like you have the thinker, you have the leader, you have the
Yep.
locker room guy, you have the nervous wreck, you have Joe Cool, but then you got to have the coward, and Upham was the coward for sure,
You let
and
the
he
guy go
nailed the role.
because you couldn't bring yourself to do it, and then he ended up killing
Yeah,
two
yeah,
of your
and then the
best friends.
German spares him, because he's like you
Because
pathetic worm.
what's the point,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. It's
My
like you
cast
fucking
for
pussy.
my casting for this is Skylar Gisondo. I don't know if you know
Okay.
Skylar Gisondo. Have you watched The Righteous Gemstones?
Yes.
He's he is Kenny Powers' oldest kid.
I'll have to get a visual on him again. Skylar Descendo.
Yeah, he plays Gideon Gemstone. He's the one who tried to break away from the family and then came back. He's been in a couple other things, but he has this kind of fear in his eyes.
Okay, so Skylar Descendo to play Upham.
Of him. I
Not
need it.
bad.
I think he's a guy because he is a really good actor. But
Yeah. Okay. I know. I see who you're talking about now.
you know the dude, right?
Skylar Gisendo with a G. I thought you were saying
Okay.
Descendo.
No, G. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yep. I know what you're talking about. Totally. I can totally see it. Okay. That's a decent one. All right. Keep it moving.
Now we're getting to the last. We only got two left. We got Private Ryan, and I'm going with
Okay.
Logan. I'm going with Logan Lerman from Fury. I'm going with the new kid from Fury.
Yeah. Not a bad pull.
I think he's my guy here. And
Yeah.
my Tom, I mean, because he showed he can assimilate, he can
Yeah.
get into the game, he can be
Yeah.
all right, but
He took a little hazing and then got into it. Yeah.
and then got into it, then did his
Yeah.
thing.
And then he
But
was all in.
this whole thing teeters on one casting decision, and that is Captain Miller, the Tom Hanks
Yeah.
character.
Okay.
And I want to have some fun with it. Matt Damon. I'm going Matt Damon for Captain Miller. I'm going Private Ryan to Captain Miller in one fell swoop.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
My
But
other,
I don't.
my,
Yeah.
I actually, honestly, that was kind of my joke. I actually think Affleck would be better. Or my choices were Damon, Walton Goggins, Ben Affleck.
See, I think Walton Goggins would be a good Barry
Would be
Pepper.
Oh, my pick for Barry Pepper was Barry Pepper CGI de-aged. No one can be Barry Pepper. Barry Pepper is Barry Pepper in that movie. No one else can be that guy.
Like he
He's
owned
that
it. He
dude.
was so
He's
good.
that dude. He's that
He
dude.
was so good. Absolutely so good. I
that
could see
dude.
Goggins playing Barry Pepper though, right? And
Too
then
old. Way too old.
Jackson.
Way too old.
Nah, I
Way
guess
too
you're
old.
right.
My only Barry Pepper choice was Barry Pepper CGI de-aged to play Barry Pepper's Private Jackson, because Barry Pepper, no one was ever more perfect in a role than Barry Pepper was as the fucking sniper in Saving Private Ryan.
He crushed. He was
perfect. He's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see. I mean, well, who did you? All right. Did you recast anybody else? Because, Bern, I'm not going to lie. I fucking smoked you in this recasting. But who else do you have? And do you have anyone else that you picked?
I have Private Mellish. I have William Jackson Harper.
Who's William Jackson Harper?
It's a black dude. He played Cheaty on The Good Place, and was in Man 2. I actually put your boy Michael Pena in the Ed Burns role.
Okay, I could see that because he's got to have a mouth. Got to have a mouth.
He's got to have a mouth. He's got to be able to chop it up.
Yeah. Okay. Dude, I forgot that fucking Dennis Farina, Paul Giamatti, Ted Danson, all these guys, Nathan Fillion, right? Like all of them are in there. Okay. So then who do you have to replace Giovanni Ribisi? Did you get there or no?
No. I only did 11. I only did 11.
Okay. All right. So give me your recap.
So here are my top 5 recasts for Saving Private Ryan. Tom Hanks is Captain Miller, will be played by some combination of Matt Damon or Ben Affleck on alternating nights. Tom Sizemore's Sergeant Horvath will be Oscar Isaac. Matt Damon's Private Ryan will be Logan Lerman. Uh, Jeremy Davis's Corporal Upham will be Skylar Gisato. And Vin Diesel's Private Caparzo will be Anthony Mackie.
You know, Ty Sheridan could play the Barry Pepper Private Jackson role. Ty Sheridan could play that.
You might be right.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I thought about it for like 3 minutes, and I was like, I've never tried to do a recasting before where no one else came to my mind.
Yeah.
When I tried to do the Barry Pepper role in this movie.
All right. Well, Bern, that was the trivia sparring and recasting. We're going to keep it moving and move on to the last round. Round four. Fight! Okay. So in this round, we are going to ask our esteemed overlord AI or Gemini, played by AI or whatever, however you say it. Or we're going to ask our esteemed overlord Gemini.
Played by Barry Pepper.
Yeah. Who's going to tell us? We're going to ask them who they think is better and give us the final verdict on who wins this one and moves on to the finals of the first ever Directors Cup. So here we go. So I went to Gemini. I said, hello, Gemini. Can you please tell us what movie you think is better, Saving Private Ryan or Alien? And this is exactly what they said verbatim. They said, this is a tough one. True. It says, like choosing between a Normandy landing craft and a Nostromo escape pod. Both Saving Private Ryan and Alien are master classes in their respective genres, delivering unforgettable cinematic experiences. However, if I must choose a champion, I'd award the victory to Saving Private Ryan. And here's why. Visceral realism and emotional impact. Saving Private Ryan immerses viewers in the horrors of war with unflinching realism and emotional depth. The Omaha Beach landing scene in particular is a landmark achievement in filmmaking, capturing the chaos and brutality of combat with devastating accuracy. The film's exploration of sacrifice, duty, and the human cost of war leaves a lasting impact on the viewer. Then, character development and performances. The film features a cast of well-developed, memorable characters, each grappling with their own fears and motivations. Tom Hanks delivers a powerful and nuanced performance as Captain Miller, a leader burdened by the weight of responsibility. The ensemble cast creates a sense of camaraderie and shared humanity that resonates deeply. Very true. And then technical mastery. Saving Private Ryan is a technical masterpiece, showcasing Spielberg's mastery of filmmaking. The film's sound design, cinematography, and editing work together seamlessly to create a truly immersive and unforgettable experience. Absolutely. So while Alien is a groundbreaking sci-fi horror film with a terrifying creature and a suspenseful atmosphere, Saving Private Ryan's emotional depth, powerful performances, and technical brilliance make it a truly exceptional film that stands the test of time. It's a film that not only entertains, but also challenges us to reflect on the human cost of conflict and the sacrifices made in the name of freedom. So, moving on to the finals of the first ever Directors Cup, we have Steven Spielberg. Wow. Wow, Daddy. Wow.
I mean,
Bern, your thoughts.
Tough to argue with, man. Tough to argue with.
I mean, but dude,
Ridley
Scott really put it out there.
No, it was a great throwdown, but like no matter what happened tonight between Ridley Scott and Steven Spielberg, the winner was going to deserve to be where they were. The winner was going to deserve to be there.
I mean, think of the two films that Ridley Scott took so far. So we started with Gladiator with Ridley Scott, which knocked off Titanic. Mm-hmm. And then Alien, which, I mean, you know, Saving Private Ryan won, but I feel like they snuck by. Like, it wasn't an easy one. You know what I mean? It was a battle for sure.
Right, but then you look at Spielberg and you're like, I don't know, Jurassic Park and Saving Private Ryan, and that's he's not even in his bag yet.
No. Yeah. What? Like, imagine what he can choose for the finals. Like, it's unreal, the list he has for the final. I don't even know.
Let me text him.
Like, I have like 20 different things right now.
Let me just text him right now and see what he wants to do. I got his number.
Yeah, please.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Steven Spielberg is waiting for the winner of Christopher Nolan versus the Coen brothers, coming to you hot next week. Maddie, what are we even going to do for these? We have such a catalog from both directors to pick from.
Yeah.
This is good. This is good. Guys, this is going to get good. This is going to get really, really good.
I can't, man, I still am blown away. Honestly, too, I'm thinking of a couple other movies we could have picked for Spielberg that probably would have still won. He's got so much stuff, dude. It's unbelievable the amount of shit.
E.T. was the biggest goddamn movie of all time for 20 years.
Yeah. Dude, Jaws, we could have taken Jaws, Raiders of the Lost Ark, dude, we could have taken so many, Oh,
well,
man.
One of those classics is going to be waiting in the finals.
You know what? I mean, dude, I don't want to say it either because I don't want to give it away, but I think I got one for the finals that I think might well, I don't know. It depends who's going to see. If he sees the Coen brothers or is he going to see fucking Christopher Nolan? What are we doing, babe?
Styles make fights, Maddie.
Styles make fights, dude. Styles make fights. So, okay, Bern, give me one final thought and we'll get out of here. But my thought is Steven Spielberg's going to the finals, and I'm excited to see who he's going against, but we'll find that out next week. Tell me what you got, Benoit.
I don't want to tell you your chances, but I will say I have sympathy for you. Whoever is versus Steven Spielberg next week, because this guy is a tank. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks for enjoying the first annual Directors Cup. We have a lot of we're cooking something up for you.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Well, speaking of cooking something up for you guys, this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives podcast presents Ask AI. In case you're wondering, you can find all our stuff and all our content and all podcast platforms and YouTube at Work Perspectives Podcast. You can also on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast. Join us on Twitter and TikTok at Working P Pod. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com. And please like and subscribe. We'll keep bringing you this incredible content. We love you guys all very much, and we can't wait to see you next time. All right? Thanks. See you.